Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little bit of work to this mirror, but you can't see it behind you right now, of course, but this mirror actually moves up and down without any trouble. However, when you do it this way, you can hear it click. And the reason is that the one of the plastic, I guess you can call it studs inside that secures the mirror to these little electric motors is actually missing. So we're going to pop this mirror on off and then take a look inside, and hopefully I'll have one here that will snap in place. I can put it back together. So of course whenever you do this sort of work, you're going to try to pop the mirror on off. You have to wear, of course, some safety glasses. The last thing you want to do is, because you're going to get up front close, is to pop it and then maybe shatter the mirror, and then of course have glass go into your eyes. So again, use safety glasses by all means when you do this job. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to first slide this thing on over as far as we can, and then what we're going to try to do is go behind here. You can't see it. Let me use this other pry bar actually. But in the center of this mirror there's like a little ball, and that ball is in a little receptacle. So you want to get on up there, and of course I'm using a pry bar right now, but you want to get up in there and pry that loose. If I can do this without breaking anything. There it goes. All right. So now you'll see what you have back here. This is the threaded part here that we're missing on this other part right here. I put a little silicone lubricant on the center here because I've had a part once before. And you'll see there, let me see if I can move this over and over a little bit more. And you'll see here we've got two actuators. The one actuator, which is the stud goes into, is with this one. And so I'll have to slide this piece back on in there to put it back together. The other actuator is right here. And of course you see that this thing is missing the corresponding stud that goes along with that actuator. So what do you do in this case? Well, you can't, unfortunately, you can't buy these studs at the Ford dealer. You can buy the mirrors, but you can't buy those studs. So if you're missing one, it could be a little bit problematic. But I will say this, there are places they actually find these at the salvage yard. And let me grab one here. Well, if you're lucky enough to find a Ford Superduty at the salvage yard and that has a damaged mirror, you can get that piece, well then that's great. But if you don't have that, is there any other option? Well, if you go down the salvage yard and you look at the like the Ford Explorers, and you can find something that looks similar to it, but the unfortunate part is that they're not quite as long as the other one. So in my attempt here, what I've really done is I've taken two of these threaded parts from that Ford Explorer, and then really, as we can just say, just went ahead and plastic welded them together. It's not a perfect plastic weld job, but it's not bad either. So we're going to try this part, plug it on in there. It will fit in here. It's the right size. It's just that it's a little bit too short. But with plastic welding two of them together, looks like it might do the trick. So we're going to try putting this thing on here and see how it goes. Alright, we're going to try to put this mirror together. And I've zip tied these threaded pegs here on the mirror. And you need to keep these things collapsed to get them fed into that boot right here. So we need to line all these four things on up, and it's a little bit of a hard place to get your hand in there. But we're going to give it a try here and see how things go. You gotta cut those guys off as soon as we get that thing threaded in there. need actually this guy. Even collapse it further. That boot is kind of a bummer to get fed into. And that looks good. That looks good. If I can grab pliers, trim those guys. That's one. Let's get this other one now. Tight space. That's the second one. Looks like that second one still needs a little bit of squeezing. It's okay, we can get to it. Just to get it started into that. There you go. All right. Pop this in, pushing into the center. There. That looks good. And if we were to try to turn this with the key on. That's good that way. And good that way. So that's one way of trying to go ahead and fix that mirror. I hope you picked up a little bit of tips along the way. It's not in a perfect solution, but without having to buy a new mirror, this is probably one of the alternatives that you can, or one of the options that you can try. And plastic welding on that thing isn't too bad either. You just have to be patient. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.